Once again, we find ourselves broadcasting live and giving you a little bit of coverage here on the MT and Me. It's a downtown celebration to kind of kick off the holiday festivities here in our hometown. A couple of days before Thanksgiving, we have a whole bunch of merchants get together. And they have basically a big holiday open house with specials and prizes and lots of great food. So people just kind of make the rounds, and we sit up in the middle of it broadcasting live here on our local radio station coverage. So that's what I'm doing today before I actually get myself rolling on some more work on the MT. Sometimes the job just comes first, you know. But that's okay, especially when there's free food involved. Well, after sampling all of the goodies on the downtown holiday celebration, only 2 days later was Thanksgiving and more food. Hey, Whiskey. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving, Whiskey.
To me, it looked like a very technical process.
I know.
Putting dressing in a plastic bag.
Yep.
Don't try this at home, boys and girls.
Not single-handed.
She's not a professional, but she's getting there.
But she played one on TV.
But she played one on TV,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hey, I'm ready for you to help me figure out this first super secret process.
In the course of the day, my niece Geneva finally got to use her vacuum sealer. Once she figured it out.
Perfect. Slam that top down. Hit the bar. Hold the top shut. Hit the bar.
Oh, it fell. I don't even care it's working. Look, it's not even in the tray on one side.
As it comes far enough to get the suction, it should vacuum.
It
worked!
All right.
It's right at the end. Well, you got it. It'll work.
That's an easy pour.
Put it there.
That's a little crooked, but it's sealed. That's the important thing, right? And finally, it was Whiskey who came up with the right idea. Just nap the afternoon away in the middle of the floor. So, a lot of fun there. First of all, broadcasting from downtown, and then, of course, Thanksgiving festivities going on as well, because it is Turkey Week. And let me take a moment to wish each and every one of you a very happy and meaningful holiday week, and the entire season for that matter, because after this week, it's full-fledged into the holidays. It's it's only a month till Christmas, a month or less. I don't want to alarm you, but things are getting close. So anyway, we feel it here on the MT and me too. But putting all the festivities aside, and there will be more coming, I'll just give you the heads up that we still have some pretty big outdoor downtown celebrations to come here in my area. The two communities in the county where I live both have big outdoor festivities to enter the holidays, and each of them finishes the day off with a beautiful, wonderful Christmas parade. I'll be there, so that means you're going to be there with me here on the MT and me. You've got that to look forward to. Just a little preview today with the Christmassy stuff and the Thanksgiving stuff going on. But I do want to get a little work done on Pearl. Now we're focusing on the carburetor here. First of all, really good news. I have vacuum tubing. Yeah, it says right here on the package, vacuum silicone tubing for engine. So there it is in black and white. And I've got several different sizes. We're going to open that package in a second. First of all, I want to go over here to the carb and show you something. I'm still working out the details on how to design the linkage, but I think I have found the correct way to hook it up where everything's going to be all right, and it's not going to require any additional adapter or any kind of additional part to be put on the carburetor itself. It looks like the mountings on the throttle adjustment for the carb are going to fit. And I've just got a plain old screw here to show you what I'm talking about. Now I've shown you a few times, this is the throttle valve, of course, on the carburetor. And that, one might argue, is kind of the heart of the carburetor. I mean, I realize the gas and the air goes in here, and that's what makes the engine go. Well, this is what adjusts that, you know, how much gas and air goes into the engine. Therefore, this is what your gas pedal attaches to, and it's what makes everything else work. And we definitely want everything to work. So, the thing is to get all of this hooked up. Now, this is the actual connection to the accelerator pedal here in Pearl, okay? And in this case, unlike in most cars, this is a van. Remember, the whole front end is a Dodge 300 van. So the pedal is literally right over here, and this is the linkage right here that's coming back from it, so that when you push the pedal up and down, this is what happens. And it's not exactly rocket science, but it works. Okay, so that's got to be attached to this, so that when you push on the pedal, it pulls that back. This is the cruise control. This has a vacuum-operated cruise control on it. Also needs to, so that whenever you get this and you set it, this will adjust and hold it in place. Okay, because that's the way cruise controls work. And this is what they call an automatic transmission kickdown. I always thought that this was mostly important for passing gear. You know, whenever you pull out to pass somebody and you gun the accelerator and it goes like that, and that knocks you down to second gear and gives you that little extra boost. Well, it does that, but it also does a lot more. And I have found out in my research that this is vitally important to the health of your transmission, that this be hooked up properly and be working properly, because it really helps in the first to second gear shift, and then again from the second to third gear shift based on the position. This moves a little fluid control switch on the side of your automatic transmission, and depending on that position, it makes your shifting smooth or not smooth if it's in the wrong place. So you want this set up right, and we'll get into that a little later on. Point is, all three of these things need to hook to that. Now, I am just going to figure out, I think, a nice bolt with some nut spacers to go through here, because that's really all I need. Case in point, I have the screw that I showed you. We're going to put it through the kick down, through the throttle, the cruise control that is, and then put it through the carburetor, and let's put the throttle on this side, okay? So mind you, this is not at all hooked up, but they are all connected. And if you push the accelerator, it all works. And that's what I wanted to know. Let me do it from back here so you can actually see it. You can, when you push on the accelerator, it pulls this back. It'll push against the kick down here, which is what it's supposed to do. And like I said, we'll adjust that later. Most importantly though, you move the accelerator and the throttle works. Now I'd like to point out, there is actually a part that does that naturally. I mean, there's a specific part, a little spacer. I'm simply having a little problem figuring out exactly which one is designed to fit on this carburetor. Now the others I could probably make something work, but then I got to thinking, you know, I have a nice assortment of bolts and nuts and washers that I should be able to come up with something that would hold together. I can tighten down and make this work. So I'm going to give that a try. And, you know, later on down the road, sure, you know, if this works and we get the engine running and everything, I'll take a little time, hunt up the exact part, because I do want Pearl to be solid and to be as authentic, I guess, as possible, if you can make it that way. So I will get the original part, but I'm looking for something that's going to work kind of for the time being here, so that I don't have to slow down and hunt something down. So I can get that ready, get it going, and that's going to get me that much closer to having this carburetor ready to put some gas in Pearl's 360 engine here. So I think we're on the right path, even if it is just an old screw and some nuts holding it together. What works, works. Now, all that having been said, I told you we got some vacuum hose. Let's see if we can open up this package and see exactly what we have here. This is really wrapped in a strange and funky way, so I think I'm just going to have to kind of cut through the middle here and tear it open. Oh, I see, because it's wrapped and then apparently it's wrapped again. Don't want your vacuum hoses to get bruised. I mean, they're only high temperature rated silicone. Oh, I appreciate the packing. We got it. Vacuum hose. Now, here's the deal. I got several sizes, and I got 5-foot lengths. I think I have 4 different sizes here. That's about 5 feet. Plenty of vacuum hose. I know this is like a 1/2 inch. And then, I don't know the exact measurements, but I have 3 descending sizes as well. So, I'm hoping I can get over here to the engine and determine places that I need the heavier hose. I do know that the heavier, the 1/2 inch, is probably going to be handy for hooking up the brake amplifier, the vacuum to that, and maybe stuff like the PCV valve, and maybe even the breather cap. So, although I might need something a little bigger for one or more of those. That's why I got this, so that we can go back to the motor and see what is going to fit where. First of all, this is the PCV valve hose. Now, this is heavy duty vinyl, those vinyl clad hoses, and it's actually in pretty good condition. Made a little frayed there around the end, and this attaches to the carburetor, probably at one of these rear ports, obviously. So we may be okay there. Now I'm going to have something going from the breather cap over here, but it's got to be a larger hose because this 1/2 inch is obviously not going to work with that. And I believe that actually attaches to the air cleaner assembly anyway, so I'm not worried about that. I have a vacuum hose right here that I believe ties in on the carburetor. Now it is currently plugged, which is what you do with vacuum hoses that you disconnect. So maybe not worry about that. This goes to the brake amplifier. Now this one is a bit of an issue because of the way this carburetor fits. Remember, this is a retrofit carburetor. So it's not exactly dimension-wise, just like the Holley, 2210, I think, or 2240 that originally was on this engine. The dimensions are a little different. And as a result, I have a bit of a conflict with this metal section that's on the brake amplifier. I had to push it up out of the way. This is one, here again, they snipped this. It goes to right here, where it goes into the engine block, into the manifold. And they snipped this whenever they took the carburetor off the engine, probably because it was kind of sort of in the way. It came right across here and connected. So they just cut it and pushed it out of the way and took the carburetor off. And I've got to make this connection back. Well, I had thought I could just get a piece of vacuum hose and run from here to here, and I believe my half-inch hose might do the trick on that. Won't know for sure until I get a clean cut. These have been cut and crimped by whatever they cut it with, so I need to actually saw these and get a clean cut. Now the other thing is I'm going to have to completely reroute this, because with this carburetor, this is not going to go back down to where it would mate up with this. I could leave it up there, but that's going to interfere with the air cleaner and everything else. Anyway, I'm going to have to reroute that vacuum hose. That's a problem I'll work out sometime later on. But the important thing is, I have the vacuum hoses. Watch them dance. And we got a plan on the carburetor linkage. So I feel like it's a job well done. And since this is a holiday week, we're going to kind of cut it short as far as the work on Pearl goes. We'll get back out here next week and try to get some of these bits and bobs actually taken care of, which should be easier since we have a plan. I said should. You know what I mean? In the meantime, let me take a moment to wish each and every one of you a truly meaningful Thanksgiving week, holiday season, spending time with those that matter the most. Have a very, very good one. And be sure and join us again next week, right here on the MT and Me. I am thankful for each and every one of you watching and supporting us each and every week. Thanks a lot. Links below to buy me a coffee. Go to the website, themtandme.com. And of course, join us right here. Thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. And just stay with me, because Pearl is making progress. Whether I am or not, Pearl is making progress. Till next time around, I'm Russ. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holiday week. We'll talk later. Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at my neighbor's house. So maybe I should hang my wreath on the door. Yeah. Maybe later. Too late tonight.